Happy Sunday. Welcome back to another episode of Presley's Pod. Here's the thing. I wasn't supposed to record this today, but I have just been buzzing ever since I've gotten back from this trip. So I said, the viewers, I need a nickname for you guys. The viewers need to know, okay? They saw the screenshots. Oh my gosh, they saw the posts on Instagram. They saw me smiling. They saw me happy. They saw me vibing. And I need to give them the rundown of exactly what happened. And after this, I think I have I have 1 hour and then Sean's coming over and Sean's going to be on the pod. So like life is good, okay? Um so if you see me wearing this same outfit, it's because I recorded two in one day and that's called being a professional with 58 subscribers. Professional and recording this on our iPhone that I think is like kind of tilted right now, but we'll figure it out. So I this past weekend I went to the beach with a 26-year-old, okay? This was like a let's get out of town trip and also a Presley's birthday celebration trip because we're not going to be together on my birthday. And trust, I'm going to do a whole birthday episode, but I'm the type that it doesn't really need to be on my birthday. Like we can go to dinner the weekend before. We can go to the beach 2 weeks before. I'm going to be okay. So it was fun to just like have the best of both worlds, okay? So, he the plan was leave on Friday, come back on Sunday. Easy, easy, okay? I, you guys, I'm like, I cannot stop smiling because it truly was the best time. And I'm not just saying this because I know that he listens. Like, I had so much fun. And here's the thing, we like didn't do anything crazy, like groundbreaking. We didn't go skydiving, like we didn't do anything crazy. But that's why it's truly about the company and the people around you, okay? And that's why I'm still sitting here like 3 days later smiling. So he was like, okay, this is for your birthday, like blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna plan it all. But like, how much do you want to be involved in the planning? And I was like, no, like all you, truly all you. Like, I will get on the train and I will show up there and whatever you want to do we can do. There was some talk about some activities, like I mentioned in last week's episode. There was talks about biking. He mentioned kayaking at one point, and I was like, mm-hmm. And we're kind of in that like, do I still play it cool mode, or do I show my true colors mode? And like kayaking isn't like my favorite thing to do, but like, do I like pretend that I'm like a sports girly? I didn't, thank God, and we didn't have to do that. But so Friday, I get on the train and I was like, I've said this in the pod before. I like to pay for my own travel when I travel with a man. It gives me more of a sense of control. It makes me feel like that it's not all on him financially. And it just like makes me feel a lot better about going into the weekend or wherever I'm going. So I get on the train, and while I'm on the train, I started like reminiscing on some past travel experiences with men. And there was like one moment in particular that really stood out to me. I was meeting someone in Miami, and we we were getting in an Uber leaving because I was messaging the 26-year-old and I was like, okay, so am I like gonna get on the ferry by myself, or are you gonna meet me at the train and then we're gonna do the ferry together? Like, I'm chill. I can meet you like wherever, truly. Like, it's really not that complicated to figure out. But what was the update on like where we're meeting each other? So it brought me back to this Miami story. He was like, oh, I'm at the Uber pickup spot, like whatever the letter was. And I'm standing outside and I'm like, okay, well, I'm at this letter, ends of the alphabet, okay? Opposite ends of the alphabet. Who do you think should who do you think should make the trek to the other one, okay? No, it's not what actually happened. He goes, okay, just come to me. Perfect. So why I didn't walk inside in the AC. I don't know. I think I was just like, I got to figure out where this man is. I got to figure out like where the Ubers are, checking my surroundings, whatever. I truck it all the way to basically like the other end of the Miami Uber area. And I get there and I'm like, you're welcome for me having to walk. I get there. I thought it was going to be like, oh my gosh, so excited you're here. Like, so I'm so happy that you're like doing this, whatever. He literally was like, hopefully he said hi before he said this to me. Now that I'm remembering, he literally was like, whoa, you're sweating. I'm like, yeah, because I just trucked it outside. I think it was summertime, honestly, in Miami. Like, trucked it outside in my suitcase. Like, you should have come to me, sir. Anyway, so you sometimes you just like a lot of little things like that were coming up for me during this trip, right? Because the 26, like when I tell you all, it was perfect. It was perfect. There was no moment from Friday to Sunday that I was like, I don't really know, or like, that was kind of weird, or like, I'm a little uncomfortable, or like, I don't know if maybe like, none of that. And so the fact that this other man like just chose violence from when we first got there, I was like, oh, this is how you want to set the tone for the trip. Okay, wow. Now like I'm gonna come for you. So watch out, sir. Anyway, the 26-year-old was waiting for me at the train station, not just like in his car at the train station, not just like at the front where like you find your people, on the tracks. The man was standing there on the tracks. I got off of the train, took a couple steps, looked up, boom. And that is how you set the tone for the trip, okay? If any straight men listen to this podcast. So, Friday, we take the ferry over to the island, whatever. He was coming from Massachusetts and originally he was maybe going to come to New York. We are going to go together, yada, yada. And he was like, it's actually going to be a lot easier for me if I just come from here. Like, I can drive my car to the train, get on the ferry, whatever. And obviously the man's planning the whole entire trip, like he knows what he's doing, but just as me being a nice person, I was like, are you sure, like are you sure you want to bring the car? Is that going to be a hassle? I don't know. And he's like, no, you literally just drive the car onto the ferry takes you across, you drive the car off, you don't even have to get out of your car. That to me was magical. So he meets me there, we drive in the car, whatever, we go to I think we went to lunch first, okay? We go to lunch, beautiful, like rooftop overlooking the beach. We had some wine, we had some food. And here's the thing, you guys, this whole trip, Presley was hungry. Okay? Presley has been having some massive stomach issues, and Presley hasn't been hungry in a while. Okay? And me eating lunch, like when I tell you guys that used to never really happen, I would kind of eat breakfast and I'd be like, well, my stomach hurts and I'm like not going to be that hungry. And then I got to figure out what I want to do for dinner, yada, yada. Like I was hungry and I was eating lunch, but we're going to get into that. So we go to the beach after that. Obviously, it's right there. We do a little swim. We come back, we go to the hotel, we start getting ready for dinner. Okay. We go to dinner, actually at a resort that was like right next to where we had lunch. And this was like my little birthday night. And we got ready, we took pictures, and it's so fun that he is like into photography and has all of these like great pictures of the weekend because the man made a shared album after to just give me all the pictures. And like, you guys, it doesn't get any better than that. I truly. Anyway, so we take pictures, yada yada. We There's like a little birthday candle on my dessert. I don't know. He must have put it in the reservation. Like, no, there was no talk to the waitress that it was my birthday. So shout out to him for however that happened. Then after that, we went down and like sat by the fire and just enjoyed like chill beach vibes. Then Saturday, we decided to go to a yoga class, okay? And this is where things like could have gotten a little dicey if like we were thinking about, possibly getting the ick, okay? But because straight men doing yoga, sometimes it's like a little, sometimes it's not fun to be next to them in a yoga class, okay? After the class, the teacher comes up to us and she goes, "You all have a beautiful practice." And we were like, "Yes, we got a compliment." But like doing yoga next to him, like he knows how to do yoga. He knows how to like act around people and not be obnoxious. So shout out. But after that, we went to the farmer's market and Presley was hungry. Crazy. Presley was hungry. We walked around. I was like, I want those peaches. We got some peaches. We ate the peaches. And then it started raining, okay? And when I say raining, it was raining. Yeah, it was coming down. So this is where things could have like taken a turn, right? Because Saturday during the day, he had kind of left open to me and what I wanted to do. Like, do we want to go explore a different part of like where we were? Do we want to like what do we want to do? Do we want to shop? Do we want to walk around? And then it started raining, okay? So this man had options A, B, and C for every single day. He like knew the menus of all these restaurants. He had a couple reservations for every single night, and then we could cancel the ones that we decided we didn't want to go to. Like he had so many plans, and I like my love language is acts of service. And to me, being able to like take a step back and have someone else plan it all and handle it all because I'm like the reservation friend, which I love to do for my friends. Like I'm like I want everyone to have a good vibe. Maybe I fumbled a little bit on the brunch party, okay? We're not going to talk about that. It's still a little bit of like a what's the word, a sore spot, whatever. But he had so many plans and he was like, "Okay, it's raining. We could do this and this or this. What do you want to do?" And I was like, whatever's like best for you. Like, you're the one that's like, I'm the guest on this trip. Like, truly. So, whatever is best for you. And he's like, Presley, I need you to make a decision. Okay. You got to pick something. So, we ended up just driving around the island looking at all the houses. And it was raining. We got to explore other parts. And here is the best part about that day that it was raining. Thank you, universe. Shout out. It meant that Presley didn't have to get in a kayak. It meant that Presley didn't have to get on a bike. It meant that Presley could just sit in the front seat of the car and enjoy the views. And that's all I wanted to do. Then we go back to the hotel and we went, oh no, we didn't go back to the hotel. Oh my gosh. One of his reservations, shout out, we kind of just like stumbled into this little bar that was on the water, so there were boats around and it was like the rain, so basically all the doors were open and the rain is just pouring down and everyone's in there like chill, wearing sweatshirts, having a drink, having some food. There was a group of people next to us playing heads up. Like the vibe was just chef's kiss. It was giving beach rain day and we just sat there and like, you guys, like, I'm getting emotional because my period is coming, okay? My period is coming, but we just like sat there and had so much fun. And like, I don't even know how to explain it. Sitting there was so fun. And this place was so cute because on the way out, they had a little store and everything was just out in the open. And there was a little sign that said, like, just go to the restaurant hostess for like whatever you want to buy. So you could easily be like just grabbing things and walking out, but that was the whole vibe of this like little island and it was so cute and it was so much fun. He did such a good job. Okay. So, and I made notes because I was like I'm just going to ramble for hours about this. So we also at that little bar, I was hungry. I was hungry. I ate lunch, you guys. Presley eating lunch is like not a thing. So very happy with all of that. Anyway, after that, he knows that I love sushi. So shout out Saturday night dinner, sushi. We get in the car goes on the ferry across the ocean, okay? Across the ocean. Is it an ocean? I don't know. Anyway, across across the pond, and we go like into the town for a little sushi dinner. The sushi was amazing, okay? It's still pouring rain. So let's just like think about that. And in my mind, I was like, Presley, shout out to you. If you follow me on Instagram, I packed so I had a suitcase and a bag, okay? And I don't know, I actually didn't have that many options clothing wise for dinner, but I was a smart girl. And for some reason, something in me said sandals, not heels, sandals, okay? Because I was like, beach, walking around, I don't know, sandals, yeah? So, wearing sandals, thank God we eat sushi. We're just like having the best time. I was so hungry when we got to dinner, which is like shocking. Okay. Shocking. I was so hungry. We're hanging out, whatever. We decide to go for another drink. We're like, okay, let's go to a bar. He had done his research before, he knew where to go. I was like, drive me, sir. Here we go. So, we drive to the bar. I'm we're like driving past, and it looks like it's nothing. It looks like an office building, but I saw the name of the bar on the front door. So I was like, no, this is it. And then we saw this other couple, and we were like, okay, I think it looks like they're going in. Let's see if they're going inside, and then we'll make sure that this is actually a bar. So we go inside. It's like bright fluorescent lighting. Like it literally looks like the maybe like if your apartment has like a tiny little entryway, or like your apartment building, and then you know, if you live in New York City, you like turn around and go up 5 flights of stairs, and then you go downstairs and it's dark and the lights are red. You can't see anything. You really can't see anything. But what I did see was a table in the back corner, okay? And if you know me, at a bar, I'm sitting down. I'm not standing. No, no. I don't mind sitting at the bar, but then my back starts to hurt a little bit because there's no backs on the chairs usually, okay? So I beeline it for a table in the back. He's like, I'll get the drinks at the bar. I'm like, great, got the table. Cool. We sit down. The bar starts to get even more crowded, and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I'm so happy that we're at a table right now. So happy that I'm sitting down. I'm comfortable, whatever. We finish. It's like 10 something maybe. And I'm like, this is the dream. The night's over at 10 p.m. We get upstairs to go to the car. The car is parked just across the street, okay? It is pouring rain, like raining cats and dogs, as they say. Also, massive puddles from the sidewalk to like a full car's length of where a car would be parked, if that makes sense, okay? So it's like you can't just leap over to get to your car across the street, right? And we were watching people leap, and it was just like boom, foot right in the middle of a puddle. And I was like, oh, like I'm wearing sandals, whatever. And I was wearing a long dress, so I was just holding it up. But I was like, like we're going home. It doesn't matter, but whatever. And if you know me in my hair journey, like I did my hair before we left. The minute I walked out the door, I don't know what it looked like, but I was like, okay, cool. That's not what I was going for, but whatever. The man says, the 26-year-old is like, you stay here. I'll figure it out. Meanwhile, I can see the car. Like, we're right there, okay? He walks down one way to see, like, if there's, you know, a break in the flooding that maybe a girl could step over and get in a car. Pouring rain. Walks in the pouring rain down one way. He's like, nope, nothing down there. Walks in the pouring rain the other way. He's like, nope, nothing down there. He's like, I'm going to get the car and I'm going to pull around and you're going to get in the car. Okay. I'm going to drive the car like 5 feet over to the other side of the street and you can get in the car. Okay. Gets in the car, drives around. I get in the car. Okay. And it's not like we were going to like a gala, you know, like we were just going home. But in my brain, I was like, that is so nice. There's people in the past that I was like, I don't think that they would have done that for me. It would have been like a 3, 2, 1 run, which is fine. But when you're thinking, it's nice to be thought of that way. Like that he's like, oh, I want to make sure that like Presley's comfortable and like Presley doesn't get rained on and whatever. Even though literally we were sitting in the car to go back to the hotel. So it did not matter what I looked like. But that moment for me is like gonna be seared in my brain forever, because whatever happens, I was like, that just shows like who you are as a person. And I think when you travel with someone like that and you spend so much, we only spent a weekend together, but it's those little things that you start to notice versus when you like go to dinner and maybe he just holds the door for you and you're like, okay, thanks. But like how someone is as a person and you're spending all day together, like literally all day and all night together. I wasn't nervous to go away with him. I was just nervous about the idea of like, okay, I feel very comfortable with this person. Like he's seen me. We've had he's seen me at like the ends of long days. He's like been through it all. But I was like, okay, I just want to like, are we gonna, run out of things to talk about, or is, we're gonna get stressed about something, or if it's raining, or yada yada. But truly, if you literally count the number of times I say it was perfect. Okay, anyway, back to the hotel. Sunday morning, we get up, we go to the beach. And while we're literally at, this was like the first, or no, the first day was sunny, and then the morning of this day was supposed to be sunny or something. So we were like, okay, we gotta make sure that we like really use our um beach time. We go, we have breakfast again. Like all these restaurants are just so cute and they're outside and you're by the water. I wake up hungry, okay? Full meal night before, full sushi. Like ate a lot. Waking up hungry, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss, okay? Breakfast by the water, go to the beach, get in the ocean, swim, do our thing, okay? Also, he lays his towel down on the sand. I go to lay my towel down on the sand and I look at the sand and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of shells and rocks. I don't think I want to lay on that. So I start kind of like kicking them off to the side. Yeah, just like getting them out of the way. The man gets on the ground in the sand and starts moving all of the sand out of the way. Again, to make sure, I know he was like being silly, but it's to make sure that Presley's comfortable. And to me, it's like those little things is just so like, I don't know how to describe it. I'm like, thank you. Like, thank you. And so we go to, yeah, we did the beach, whatever, check out of the hotel. We go to lunch. And I was like, I tried to pay for breakfast and he wouldn't let me, but I was like, I'm paying for lunch because the trip, like I've said 1,000 times on this episode, like it felt like paying for lunch wasn't even like the proper way to say thank you, truly, because I saw how much work he put into making sure that it was fun, making sure that we had, I mean, you can't guarantee fun, but like making sure that all the reservations were made and the hotel was made, and he like knew the ferry times and he knew like what the vibe of each restaurant was, and like he had just done the work to make sure that like we had the best time. And we I mean, hopefully he did too. Hopefully he did too. But I like we were walking to the train. I'll go back to lunch, but we were walking to the train and I was like, I don't know how to say thank you. Like I really don't, because this was so much fun. And so I paid for lunch and still it doesn't feel like enough, but I'll figure something else out. Um and we go to lunch and then we enjoy just like sitting outside. They had chairs right next to the water and we were just like vibing, having fun. On the radio on the way there, it said it was National Ice Cream Day. So we went and got like ice cream after. I got a sorbet because like we're still a little scared of dairy. And then we were driving and we passed these two kids with a lemonade stand, and he was like, oh, we're getting lemonade. And we get out and like the kids were so excited that they had customers. And I think it was like $1 total, honestly. And when the 26-year-old handed this little boy a $5 bill, his face, he was so excited. And I was like, this is so cute. So then we get our lemonade, we go back to the beach, we like go on a beach walk, whatever. Then we go back to the train. And I take the train home. I'm like at my apartment by 8 p.m. Chef's kiss. He's back in Massachusetts by like 9 something. Easy. And I have never left a trip with a guy feeling like that was so much fun. Because there's always something. There's always one thing. And like truly things happen. Like We listened to the hiking story episode where like the dog almost died. That was scary and like things happen, but the vibes were high and Presley was hungry and Presley was settled and happy. Okay. Yes, I feel like I can be myself around the 26-year-old. I don't feel any anxiety or stress around him. So I think that's part of the stomach thing. But then I was also thinking, like, I'm almost done with like my stomach acid medicine, like the first 30 days. So I was also like, oh, wait, maybe it's just my medicine. Maybe the medicine's just working and it's like finally taking all this acid out of my stomach so I can be hungry again. But I was like, I came back to New York and it's true, like every time I hang out with him, I leave the hangouts and I feel very motivated. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go like do a I don't know, like do a great workout and like, yeah, I want to like think about how I can make the pod better and like, yeah, I want to do more just like in my career and like what do I want in my life? And I leave feeling very happy and like inspired and yeah, and I'm just gonna like leave it at that. So like shout out to the 26-year-old for handling it all, and shout out to Mother Nature for making sure that Presley didn't have to participate in any activities that she didn't want to participate in. I also was thinking about the whole idea that like it should be simple, right? Like you shouldn't be stressed. You shouldn't be like worrying about what does he think of me? Does he like me? And obviously now that we're getting closer, like things about, people's past are coming up. And like we're talking about exes and we're talking about, people that we've like been with and I don't feel any type of way. Like I don't feel the urge to go like find them on Instagram and like see what they look like. I don't feel the urge to go like spiral about like, oh, well, like like I don't even know what I'm saying right now, but I also like actively made the decision a while ago that I was, I think it was like a year ago, but I was like, I'm done with the whole like Instagram stalking you, stalking your followers, stalking your like whatever. The thing that I do though is I make sure that they're not just following like a ton of Instagram models or a ton of like, um, yeah, just especially any of these like weird, what do people say? It's like the manosphere men. I make sure that they're not like following any of those like weird guys. But so I did double check that with him, but I just feel very comfortable. And like I said last week, because I said exactly how I feel about him. And I'm like, yep, this is like, I've never been that open and honest with anyone that if for some reason, like, he's like, yeah, I actually like, I'm like, don't want to, not feeling this anymore. Then I'll be like, I'm so happy because obviously I wouldn't be happy, but like, I gave it my all, Like, I was fully myself. I didn't cause any drama. I don't feel the need to cause any drama. Like, I never leave hang out with him spiraling. And it made me think about that Samantha Jones quote from Sex and the City, where she says something along the lines of, to me, a healthy, like, good relationship is, are you like this? And she smiles and she's like, are you like this? And she frowns and she looks stressed. And I'm like, yes, yes, truly, that's it. So we honestly had the best time. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. No, I'm not. We honestly had the best time, and I'm so happy that like it worked out and it was so much fun. And then we got to go because I don't know if you remember, Presley was a little like, beach trip, like that's a little scary. Like that's like, we're getting more serious, but I'm so happy it worked out. And in a weird way, like we are going to a wedding in September with his family. And so I was like, it's probably good for us to at least like have an experience of getting out of town together before we do that and we start adding like a lot of other factors into it. So I'm very happy that it worked out. And I probably need to go because I think Sean's going to be at my door soon. So I hope that everyone has a great week. And I hope that you're thinking about the idea, like, think about that Samantha Jones line, right? Like, Are we smiling or are we frowning? Because yes, life is complicated and things get complicated and things happen, but I think that's like she's our queen and we're I'm obsessed with her. So let's like think about that. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I'm just like so excited to see Sean. So my brain is turning to mush, but I hope you guys have a great week. And yeah, see you next time.
Mm.
Bye.